Growing up, I was a die-hard Sugar Ray Leonard fan, which meant by default, Thomas Hearns was cast as the villain. He's cold-eyed, stone-faced, standing there like a scarecrow with dynamite in both hands. To a young fan, Hearns looked invincible, almost unfairly built for the sport with his height and reach. Over time, though, perspectives change. The more I revisit the great fighters of the past, going back to rewatch those old fights, I catch something new, a feint, a slip, a move I didn't notice as a kid, sitting there on the living room floor on Saturday afternoons, munching on red vines. In Hearns, I now recognize not just the raw physical gifts, but a sophisticated craftsman at work. His upper body movement was fluid, his balance always on point. Watch closely, and you'll notice how Hearns often keeps his left foot planted, even as he takes a half step back with his right, a subtle move that lets him slip a punch and counter in a split second. And then there's the hand speed, an attribute too often overshadowed by his knockout power. It's a forgotten wrinkle in that first fight with Leonard. Hearns was outspeeding Sugar Ray for much of that match. This fight against Pablo Baez takes place 3 months before that classic bout, the cigarette before the fire. Hearns stepped into the ring for a tune-up while Leonard had a tougher assignment that same night against Ayub Kalule. Baez was exactly the kind of opponent needed for the assignment. His record was fatter than it deserved to be, but he could take a beating. That's what he was there for, not a gatekeeper, more like a guy you call when the real killers need to knock the dust off. Good enough to make it look like work, not good enough to wreck the payday, waiting down the line. So Hearns did what he had to do here. He was sharp, powerful, dangerous, and worth a look back.
Pablo Baez is the welterweight champion of California. He won the title by beating Zefi Gonzalez in the 7th round. His birthplace is the Dominican Republic. That's Baez now coming into the Astrodome. He fought 45 times as an amateur, 35 wins, 10 losses. He represented his country at the Bolivian Games in Caracas, Venezuela. His team from La Romana won the Gold Cup down there 3 consecutive years for being the best amateur boxing team in the Dominican Republic.
It's like Pebble Beach, and Baez was a caddy on that golf course. Now, the one thing you'll notice about him, he's 6 feet 1 inch tall. He's very tall. Will that make a difference, Marvin?
Well, one thing that's good, Thomas Hearns won't be punching down. He will be punching straight on. Let's see if his accuracy is good. The way how people are talking about it right now, they're giving this fight almost a shutout for Hearns. Hearns to knock this Baez right out. But you can never underestimate anybody. I believe it's going to be a great fight.
There's the incredible record of Thomas Hearns, 31 wins, 29 by knockout. Meanwhile, Baez has won 14, lost 8 with 2 draws. Okay, we're all set to go. Dick Eason in the ring with more introductions. Coming up, it'll be Hearns against Baez.
Junior middleweight sensation, Charlie Charlie Weir.
As you can see, Hearns a year younger than Baez. The key here in the tail of the tape, Hearns with 78-inch reach, 4 more inches than Baez. And that, to me, is the most important statistic on the screen. Remember, here in Texas, it's the 10-point must system. That's how this fight is scored. The intrigue is whether this fight, in fact, will go 10 rounds to the eye of his opponent and punching straight out instead of down. Once again, in Texas, the 10-point must system if you're scoring along with it.
Hearns looked very well in the first round. He's moving good. He's using that jab, a hard jab is what he's using.
So far, it's all jabs between these two. Baez with a left hook. The right was blocked by Hearns, who just walks away. Minute to go in the opening round. Both fighters a little tight, and now they start to open up as they exchange right hands. Of course, Hearns ever dangerous. He's got cannons in both hands, and there's a right hand that caught Baez flush on the left side of his face. Baez with a couple of body shots of his own, but he takes some rights to his head. Lead right hand by Hearns here in the opening round. Another right by Hearns. Baez standing there. He's a target, that's for sure. He's been hurt early. Hearns with a couple of lefts to the body.
This is what I tell you about. You have to loosen up early before you get out there in that ring. I don't think Baez loosened up enough. There's not an ounce of sweat on him right now.
Hearns with right hands to the left side of Baez, coming upstairs with right hands to the left side of Baez's face.
Marvin, remember I said countering right to a right lead? But Baez is short all the time with that right lead.
Well, he's not moving his head as much, and he's just leaving himself for a target. He's very slow with that jab to save this guy a little bit. The way he was pumping him in the first round, he was hitting him with hard left hand. It's beautiful right crosses. But let's see if he continues that with the right hand lead.
Baez also having difficulty reaching Hearns. Several of his punches here in the opening moments of the second round have been considerably short. Another right hand by Hearns, off a jab missed by Baez. Hearns with a combination, then goes downstairs, misses with the right hand. Right to the body by Hearns. Another right cross catches Baez in the left side of his face.
I believe Baez is fighting him a little wronger. He should have more pressure on him. He's leaving himself open for them long right hands.
Three right hands by Hearns.
The tall man needs a lot of room. He's got to get in the inside of those long arms.
Hearns can go to that right hand anytime he wants. Baez living dangerously here in Houston. This is the second round scheduled for 15.
Every time that you see that build that he backs up, Hearns just leads in there with the straight right hand.
Flicking out that jab, and it is a heavy jab. The area around Baez's left eye now is swollen and red. However, it is not cut. It is what you call a laceration.
Well, you notice Hearns starting to slow down a little bit, like he's picking his spots right now. He's waiting for this guy to make a bad move, and you just seen right there, he tried to counter over his jab. He's fighting a very smart fight. He's letting this guy fight his way. That's what he wants to do.
Baez in the red, bewitched, bothered, and bewildered. He can't do anything offensively against Hearns. And Hearns there with two body shots. And of course, Baez is also letting Tommy get off first, which is obviously a bad mistake. The only shot Baez has is to offset Hearns' rhythm, get to him first.
Well, first of all, if this guy here, Baez, wanted to take this championship away from Hearns, he's got to go out and take it. He's got to fight. He's got to force the fight.
Good point, Marvin.
If he wants this title.
Their heads just came together. No cut on the butt, however, and it was Baez who raised his head against Hearns as they came close. In his last fight against Randy Shields, Hearns was cut by a butt as early as the third round, fought valiantly throughout the bout, and took out Shields in the third combination by the Motor City Hitman. Hearns must feel like he's at the bat away. Put 50 cents in the slot and take his shots. He's hardly being pressed here by Baez. Big right hand by Hearns. Baez is hurt. He's in his own corner. And now Hearns is taking over. He caught him with a lead right. Baez is trying to cover up, but he's taking a lot of leather. He's flat-footed and bleary-eyed. And Hearns now battling him on the rope, going downstairs as well as upstairs.
Right now, he doesn't know where he is right now, Baez.
40-odd seconds to go in the round. The right hand, Baez is out of his feet, and the referee stops the bout. Good night, sweet prince. Thomas Hearns wins his 32nd in a row.
Like I said, it was just a matter of time.
Sal is on his way into the ring to talk with the Hitman, and I'm going to talk to the man that I regard as maybe pound for pound is out, and we're just beginning to realize that. Is he still on the canvas? No, do they have him up? Do they have him up? He's okay. He's all right, I am told. You know, sometimes when, like you, I'm sitting and watching a fight, I wonder why I can't see. Everybody and his brother is in the ring. No, Baez is okay. All right, we're looking at Hearns. He's jumping up and down. To Hearns' credit, he went over to take a look at Baez.
That's a mark of a champion and a good sportsman.